Hi, I'm indie author AJ Mullican, and I am the author of currently, we'll say like 9 or 10 books in various stages of publication. Some of them are self-publication, some of them are through a small traditional pub. So I have a little bit of world building experience under my belt. I'm going to answer some questions for y'all for GoIndieNow, and thank you, Joe, for this opportunity. And let's get started. Okay. So, question 1 that I have here is: when sitting down to visualize the world you're working with, what are the first things you tend to see most clearly? In microcosms first, I tend to see in how the world relates to my characters that I am creating. And then I broaden that out into how the world is for in general. So I start with the characters, their immediate lives, how the world affects them, and then I spread out from there until I have a complete entity, a complete world of my creation, basically. Okay, question 2. How do you like to introduce elements of your world, such as a narration, unspoken action sprinkled throughout, dialogues through characters between one another, monologues, characters breaking the fourth wall, or a combo of these or something else entirely? My favorites is kind of a combo. I try to avoid the narration because I've been told by my publisher that kind of kills the mood, so to speak. I try to use it with action and dialogue, internal monologues. I don't do the breaking the fourth wall really very often. If I do, it's first person, and the character is basically it's as though the character is talking to you in that case. But I try to avoid the info dump narration. I think it's wise advice from my publisher to not do that. And I also think that it tends to kind of drag things a lot. So I feel that using dialogue and action and internal monologues actually helps move it along a lot better. Question 3, when it comes to world building, what element do you feel is most superfluous more times than not? Extraneous detail. That is something I can't stress enough. It's one thing to build a complete, detailed world. It's another thing to actually include the minutiae of this world in your writing. When I am reading a book where someone is creating a world and the details are things that either don't matter to the story or are things that don't interest me, don't grab me, that really, really takes away from the story and from the world. And I think that is really my big pet peeve with world building is over describing the elements of the world that you're trying to build. I feel that you got to leave some of it up to the reader and let them be a part of the world building by letting their imagination fill in the blanks. You don't need to describe every single little teeny thing. Really, it's a little much. Question 4. Where do you feel more artists go wrong when it comes to world building? That's kind of the same as question 3, in my opinion, is the extraneous details. But along with that also is not doing enough research into the plausibility of the world you're building, especially when it comes to fantasy or urban fantasy things, and sci-fi too. Basically, worlds where physics and reality sometimes take a hit in favor of, ooh, this thing is cool, let me put it in my world. I feel that not doing enough research into the plausibility of, okay, yeah, we're talking about dragons, but how are they able to fly? Or, I mean, a lot of stories with dragons have them as being these massive, hulking creatures with just humongous amounts of massive muscle and sinew, and you got to think, okay, but most of these dragons can fly, right? So when you think about birds, which are our current dragons or the modern day current world, they've got they're built more lightly. They have hollow bones, and they've got a lot lighter structure to be able to get the lift required to fly and what have you. So not that I don't enjoy a good, hulking dragon, especially when you get the PNR and the, paranormal romance, that kind of thing going on. But sometimes when you're trying to create an immersive world, it kind of takes away from it if it's something that can't really happen. You gotta explain away the physics or lack thereof of your world if you're going to do that. I think. Question 5. In thinking about your world expanding, is your approach to add in things you've already created outside of the story you were telling, or creating something from scratch, brand new, to add into and build upon the world that exists? I'll use my abnormal verse, which is what I call the world I've created for my my second novel, Abnormal. I kind of add as I go. Some of the aspects of the world I've already planned, because I've got like 6 books planned for this series, plus another spin-off series. But I've done short stories, novellas that are kind of splinters, and they have their own new aspects of the world that weren't in the original plan, so to speak. So I kind of do a mix. I have a plan for the world, but at the same time, I also am flexible with it. I allow myself to add on or allow to leave certain things with some wiggle room or some flux, so that when you are entering my world through whichever story it may be, you can have kind of that richness and that depth, because I do allow for the story to be able to evolve and the world to evolve. My name again is AJ Mullican. You can find me at ajmullican.com and facebook.com/AJ Mullican author, Instagram AJ Mullican, Twitter AJ Mullican. It's kind of where you can find me. Searching Amazon, you can search AJ Mullican and it will pull up my books. Or if you just want to take a look at my books and what I have to offer, whether it's anthologies that are up for pre-order or my own novels, you can go to ajmullican.com/shop, and that takes you to everything that is currently available, either for order or pre-order. I keep that up to date. Okay, so that's something you can count on from me, as I am very very up to date with my website and making sure that the links it takes you to are appropriate. And I do have a featured author link also on my site. Every week I'm featuring a new author to kind of spread the love. So check out my compatriots and my fellow men in arms, women in arms when it comes to writing. Pen is mightier than the sword and all that. Okay. Thank you for having me, Joe, and Go Indie Now, and everybody have a good day.